Hello and welcome back to That's Football. This is your daily interactive transfer rumour roundup where you guys get to get involved and have your say on all the latest transfer news. But before we dive into it, we have got a lot to talk about today. Mario Gertz, Gonzalo Higuain, Cristiano Ronaldo, and many more as well. But before we do jump into it, we reacted yesterday to Nabil Fekir, to the news that Nabil Fekir was not going to be moving to Liverpool next season or this summer. I got a bit overexcited. I may or may not have been slightly biased and taken a piss out of Liverpool a little bit. I might have done that. I do apologise, of course. I understand this is a generic football fan channel. I've got to be more neutral than I was yesterday. I saw your comments on yesterday's video and I've taken them in, and moving forward, I'm going to be far more neutral. We've got a lot of Liverpool to talk about today, so we'll see how that comes into action today. But I hope everyone is doing fantastically well, as per usual. I've got your comments here nice and large, so I can read them. I can read all your opinions on whether you think the transfers are going to happen, whether you think they are going to be good transfers if they do happen, and all the rest of it. So get involved as per usual. But, as per usual, said that enough times today, haven't I? We have got a lot to talk about. First of all, Mario Gertz. Apparently, he is not ruling out a move to Liverpool. He's not ruling out a reunion with his former manager, Jurgen Klopp. Of course, he was with him at Borussia Dortmund. A bit about Mario Gertz, 26 years of age, of course, an attacking midfielder, right-footed. He's got his contract until 2020, so he won't be too cheap. He was at Dortmund with Jurgen Klopp, of course. His performances were so good, it got him a move to Bayern Munich. Didn't quite work, injuries kept him out, his sort of career's fizzled out since then. He's since moved back to Borussia Dortmund, but he hasn't set the world alight. 32 games he's played this season, 2 goals and 7 assists. So, look, for a player of his stature and the quality that he does have, he's not performing to the level he really should be. Jurgen Klopp clearly thinks that he still got something left in him. He still believes that he can get the best out of Mario Gertz. And bringing him to Liverpool wouldn't be the worst decision for me. Obviously, yesterday, Lyon announced that Nabil Fekir to Liverpool was stopped. It was, it's not going to happen. They cancelled the negotiations. So, they need a number 10. Mark yesterday, responding to that news, said that, look, Liverpool will not just sit on that 50, 60 mil that they were going to spend on Nabil Fekir. Mario Gertz could be that man. They're clearly looking for a number 10. I think he could quite nicely slot into that Liverpool team. Now, with this next transfer, it sort of brings it all together. Get in the comments what you think about Gertz, but I want to quickly talk about Nick Pope to Liverpool. He's been linked to Liverpool for a rumoured fee of £15 million. He's 26 years of age. He's got Liverpool, he's got Burnley into the 7th position, into the Europa League. He replaced Jordan Pickford. People thought after Jordan Pickford's fantastic season, look, no one's going to be able to come into Burnley and do that well. But Nick Pope has. He's got his England call up and he's shone this season. Now, why I bring that up directly after the Gertz rumour is because I've got a few little scenarios to ask you. Liverpool fans and general football fans, what would you rather prefer? What would you prefer? Liverpool fans, would you rather go out and spend 50 mil on Mario Gertz and then spend 15 mil on Nick Pope and have Gertz as your number 10 and Pope as your keeper, or push Oxlade-Chamberlain, and obviously the player you've already got, forward and push him and keep him as your number 10 for next season and spend maybe 80 million on Oblak? Obviously, I think he's the second best keeper in the world, in my opinion, behind David De Gea. Goalkeeper is a position that Liverpool need to strengthen. We all saw that it was ever present after the Champions League final for many years now. In fact, Mignolet hasn't done very well there. He's always been sort of an unsettled pair of hands, and Karius clearly was brought in to replace him, but he's not done too much better either. So there's the little scenarios for you. Would you rather have Gertz as your number 10 and spend 50 million on him, and have Nick Pope, the 26-year-old, as your goalkeeper for about 15 million? Or would you rather sack off Gertz, keep that 50, 60 mil, and then put it towards Oblak in goal and have Oxlade-Chamberlain as your number 10? Now, you don't have to be a Liverpool fan to answer this question. You can just be a general football fan. What would you rather at your club? Oxlade-Chamberlain as a number 10 and Oblak in goal, or Gertz as your number 10 and Pope in goal? What would you rather? Get in the comments. I thought it was a nice little scenario to put forward to you guys. Is Nick Pope any relation to Lauren Pope? I don't know, pal. Would want Oblak if supported Liverpool? All right, fair enough. So you'd clearly want Oblak and Oxlade-Chamberlain as your number 10. Simon EK says, we get Oblak, sell some players, and get Gertz. I don't know who you could sell that would go of too much value. You clearly wouldn't want to sell any of your front three. And other than that, you've not really got players of too much value. So I don't know how you'd get Oblak and Gertz for about 140 mil. And then, you've got to build on top of that as well. I don't think you could do that. Liverpool need to sort their defence out. Klopp, the flop, 3 years, nothing won. Even using concussion, couldn't win Klopp a trophy. No comment. Fellaini will leave. Guys, get in the comments. I want to know what you think about that Oblak situation. I would take Oblak all day. That's interesting. Liverpool fans, I know Douglas is Douglas is in here sometimes. I want to know what you guys think. Let's see what we've got. We need a goalkeeper and a centre-back first. That's from Simon. Yeah, I'd agree with you, to be fair, Simon. I don't think number 10 is one of your main concerns. I think you're all right attacking going forward. I think you really, like you say, you need a goalkeeper and a centre-back. So I don't really know why you've been linked to an attacker like Nabil Fekir and now Gertz. Oblak is the second best keeper in the world after De Gea. That's what I said. Ryan Owen says, as a Liverpool fan, I'd rather sign Pope and Draxler. Interesting. I haven't seen any rumours on Draxler, any news about that. I think he's all right at PSG, isn't he? I don't think he's going to be moving on. Although, like you say, I think he would be a good signing. Salah was offered to Barcelona. I reported that, I think it was about a week ago now I reported that. Apparently his agent has come out and said that those rumours were false. And finally, Davies says Liverpool can have Fellaini as their number 10 and we sell him Romero for 50 mil. Connor the Red says Oblak is too good for Liverpool. Money talks. Money talks, pal. And, Liverpool have reached the Champions League final. He could be, looking at that prospect and thinking, Jesus, if it wasn't for Karius in that final, they had a good chance of winning it. If I was in goal, you never know what could have happened. And, he might be looking at it that way. That and money, you might have a good prospect there. Geisel Caesar says Liverpool have won nothing, but they have improved so much in football terms. It's only a matter of time before they win something. I wouldn't disagree with that. Liverpool need a player who isn't a bottler. If they can get that, they'll be successful. Who? Who do you reckon? Anyway, moving on. Staying on Liverpool, though. Another player that has been linked to him. Obviously, Nabil Fekir fell through yesterday, so they're going to be linked to a fair few forwards. Xherdan Shaqiri being the player this time. 26 years of age, of course, the winger from Stoke. Stoke have gone down this season. He played 38 games, 8 goals and 7 assists. So, look, not fantastic, but those sort of stats for a team that's gone down is very, very decent. He wouldn't come in to start by any stretch of the imagination. He would never replace either Mane, Firmino or Salah. So, he'd be a bench player. I think he'd be a good bench player. Liverpool don't have too much depth, if I'm honest, so bringing him in wouldn't be the worst decision. He's bound to leave Stoke. He definitely is going to leave Stoke, but where, I don't know. Obviously, Stoke got relegated, so he's not going to be playing in the Championship next season. He's too good for that. Will Xherdan Shaqiri go to pension pool? I don't know, pal. We'll have to wait and see. I'll ask you guys that. Mario Gertz has been declining year after year. Would mind Hakim Ziyech if we had to. Don't know who that is, pal. I apologise. No matter who Liverpool sign, if they don't sort out their goalkeeper and defence, they won't win anything. Yeah, that's more like it. Scouse should go for relegated players. I think he'd be a bench player. He wouldn't come in to replace any of their front three. But you guys, you're not being too interactive. We are being quite interactive. But I was hoping for more of a reaction from the two scenarios. But it doesn't matter. I messed up yesterday. Yeah, moving on. Manchester City obviously been linked to Jorginho very, very heavily right throughout this summer and even in January as well. Apparently, they were offering something like 53 mil, but Napoli wanted 60 mil, and they were sort of arguing over that small money to City, I think. But apparently that sort of difference in asking prices and willing to pay prices, if you will, is what's going to make the Jorginho deal break down. I don't really have any concrete evidence of that at the moment, but that is the rumour that Jorginho will not be going to Manchester City due to the asking price of Napoli. They want 60 mil. Apparently Manchester City do not want to pay that. So apparently Manchester City have moved their attention to Jean-Michel Seri of Nice, of course. They're both 26, and Seri is slightly more attacking than Jorginho. He's more of a central midfielder who likes to get forward now and again, whereas Jorginho is a proper central defensive midfielder. So I'll throw it to you guys. Who would you rather have in your sides to play in that central defensive midfield position, on the midfield in general? Jorginho or Seri? Like I said, they're both 26 years of age. Seri is slightly more attacking, so therefore his stats are slightly better in terms of goals and assists. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I want to get in the comments. I want to be interacting with you guys as per usual, hopefully. I feel like I've been okay today. I feel like I haven't been too biased and too... I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I've improved. Look, I'm always going to make mistakes. I made a mistake yesterday in how biased I was, and I took the piss out of Liverpool a bit. I couldn't help myself. I found out the news 5 minutes before it went live. I wasn't thinking rationally. I was talking impulsively, so I do apologise for that. That's rumour. City only want Jorginho. Jorginho is better than Seri. Jorginho for me. Jorginho. Everyone's saying Jorginho's interesting. Obviously, Seri does have that skin condition that sort of prevents him from playing in, is it rainy weather or cold weather? But it shouldn't be an issue if he was to move to a Premier League club, because the north of France is very similar to, very similar weather to England at times. So look, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. He has been, of course, linked to Arsenal and Chelsea as well, so he could be moving to London rather than Manchester. Yep, Jorginho going to City, 99.9%. Well, you have to wait and see, pal. Apparently they came in for a second bid, Manchester City, but that got declined, and I think they're faffing about over a couple mil. It shouldn't be an issue, but it clearly is becoming one. Sandra, I think your shirt's sexy. Cheers, pal. The majority of the shirts that you see me wear are actually my dad's, because we're the same size, and I like his fashion sense. So this is sort of a smarter shirt, fits nicely, I think. So, what's the Ronaldo news? We'll get to that in a little bit. In fact, we'll get to that now. Real Madrid have apparently offered Cristiano Ronaldo a contract worth £28.5 million a year. Now, apparently, this contract offer might not be enough to keep the Portuguese forwards at the Bernabeu next season. There has been heavy links that he has been looking for a move onwards, being linked to Manchester United and PSG as well. Marcelo coming out the other day saying that everyone wants Ronaldo to stay at Liverpool. You wish, at Real Madrid, after links that Neymar was going to be going to the capital of Spain. But what do you guys think? Will he be off or will he be staying? Like I said, Real Madrid have offered him a contract, a big contract, which I think is what he's after. I think we've seen it year in, year out. Look, every time it comes out, Cristiano Ronaldo is unhappy with his situation at Real Madrid, and he wants them to sort out his tax issues and things like that. Could he be off to Manchester United? He wants a Manchester United return. A couple of weeks later, what's that? He's holding up a shirt with 2025 on it, with a big old new contract, giving him a massive wage boost. I think that's going to be the case. I do, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Guys, says Ronaldo to leaving. Ronaldo to leave, but I understand. We've got a lot of foreign viewers, so if your English isn't the best, that doesn't matter, because obviously you're trying, and that's what it means. That's the most important thing, isn't it? Ronaldo using United to get a better deal is exactly what I said. Ronaldo already said it's done at Madrid. Unfortunately, look, as much as I'd like Ronaldo to come back to United, I'd pay whatever it took. He's my childhood hero, and I'd pay, like I said, whatever it took to bring him back to the club. It's romantic. I'd love it. Not only that, but look, he's 33, but he's still got a good 2-3 years left in him at the highest level. He's the best player in the world. But with my realistic hat on, I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, I think he's just using United for a new contract. Unfortunate as it is, I think that is the case. Pankaj says Ronaldo could leave this time, mate. Just believe. The ever optimist, isn't he, Pankaj? We love our Pankaj. Moving on to Chelsea, a man you can see in the middle of the screen there. Gonzalo Higuain, the 30-year-old striker, has actually come out and said, it was 1 or 2 days ago now, and he said, the Premier League fascinates me. Now, look, he could just be coming out and say that, once again, looking for a new contract, or just saying that, look, the Premier League is a great league. I don't know what will happen, but one day I could end up there. That's sort of what he could be implying. You never know. There's no direct evidence that he has been linked to Chelsea. But naturally, if you look at the comment and you look at the clubs he would go to in the Premier League, you break it down. You think Arsenal, Aubameyang and Lacazette, not going to happen. Manchester United, Lukaku, and to be fair, there are rumours that Mourinho wants a backup striker in Mandzukic. But look, I don't think he'd end up at United. He'd cost a lot of money, etc., etc. Spurs, Kane and Llorente, would Higuain go there? I doubt it. He'd want to play first-team football, and I doubt he'd go there. And Liverpool, Mohamed Salah, Roberto Firmino, Sadio Mane. I doubt they'd bring him in. I think they've got Dom Solanke as a good option off the bench. I don't think he'd go there, if I'm honest. And you know, as I said before, they've got other places to strengthen. I don't think the striking position is a place that they really need to improve. So why would they go out and spend 60, 70, 80 mil on Higuain where they should spend it on Oblak in the goalkeeping position, you know? So if you break it down like that, Chelsea is the sort of only natural destination for Higuain. Morata seems to be off. No deal has happened yet. He's not going to the World Cup, so that could happen anytime soon. Rumours that he is going to be going back to Juventus. AC Milan be linked as well. Dortmund as well. But Juventus, for me, is the most likely destination. You know, they have got Giroud, but you're not going to rely on him for 20, 25 goals a season as your main striker. So Higuain for Chelsea wouldn't be a bad decision for me. This season, 50 games, 23 goals, 8 assists. So clearly a very, very good player. He's got a contract until 2021, so by no means would he be cheap. He is a player of the top level, and well, yeah, like I said, you know, he wouldn't be cheap, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue for Liverpool. They are going to be getting a new manager, and they are going to reinvest in the squad because the squad needs it, doesn't it? It needs it. What are you guys saying in the comments then, chaps? What are you guys saying? The pace would leave him breathless, and no matter who we buy, unless Mourinho goes, we can't win anything. Camille, in my opinion, that's the most stupid, dumb comment I've ever seen in my life. But that's your opinion, so fair play to you, pal. Seen Higuain have a few shockers. The Prem can destroy anybody's confidence. You're not wrong there, pal. Of course, there is no guarantee that he would come to the Premier League and be a success. You know, we've seen good players come to the Premier League before and struggle with it. Diego Forlan being one. I don't know why that came to my mind, but he was one. Veron as well. So, look, there's no guarantee that he would be a success. The pace, the physicality could come to a shock to him. He is, of course, 30 years of age, so he will be losing that half yard of pace. He might not be able to cope with it. But if you're Chelsea and you're looking at it and you're looking around at the strikers, you're thinking, bloody hell, I don't know who to get here. Morata's going to be off. He's not very good. Higuain, we'll have you. You know, why not? If budget is tight and we only get a left-back, centre-back and a right-wing, Bale, would you take Yaya Toure in a free transfer to replace Fellaini? I'd rather keep Fellaini. I'd pay not to have Yaya Toure. Why would you? He's a City legend, isn't he? He can piss off. Higuain would be much further behind all the top strikers in the Prem. I don't disagree with you, but you couldn't tell me that on the face of it, it would be a bad signing. I do agree with you that Kane, Lukaku, Lacazette and Aubameyang are better strikers than Higuain at this current moment in time. I think they suit the Premier League more with strength and pace, and they're young and they're energetic. But like I said, he's still a striker at the top level, and it wouldn't be a bad signing whatsoever for Chelsea. I think it would get them off their feet. It would get them excited, which is definitely what they need, isn't it? Sana, predict your top 4 for next season, please. We'll do that as we sort of build up for the Premier League next season. I'm sure we'll be doing Premier League predictions and things like that after the World Cup's finished. So I'll save that, and we'll come to that. We'll come to that later. Good job on being neutral. Well, this is the thing, lads. I was quite biased yesterday. I know that. Mark told me. You guys told me. You guys all got in the comments. I told myself that. I knew that. Like I said, it was impulsive. I saw the news. I was as a United fan, naturally, I was laughing. And impulsively, 5 minutes later, I went live and reacted to the news. Now, look, I was biased, but it's all a learning curve, isn't it? This is what I said. I don't mind you guys getting involved and telling me how to improve. As long as you're not being rude, which you guys weren't. Well, some of you were, but I understand it. You know, as long as you're not rude and you're just telling me, look, try to be unbiased next time, pal. You know, you should be. That's your job as the host of a generic football fan channel. Look, I'll take that on board. I have done. I hope to, moving forward, be more neutral. And it's definitely something that I appreciate the feedback. You know, without you guys telling me, although I knew I was being, you know, I knew I was being biased. Without you guys drumming it into me in the comments, because tell you what, you guys bloody told me. You know, without you guys telling me, I might not have gone more neutral today. So thanks everyone for telling me about that. And we live and learn. Yaya Toure, West Ham Pellegrini wants him. Yeah, I definitely think that's a deal to. I definitely think that's a deal that could happen. Yaya Toure to West Ham. Although, you know, Manuel Pellegrini won the league with Yaya Toure. I don't think Yaya Toure can play at the top level anymore. I thought he'd retired, if I'm honest. I think he's past it. But clearly, Manuel Pellegrini wants him. He's stepping down a level, isn't he, at West Ham? I'm sure he can make an impact here and there. I wouldn't start him week in, week out. I just don't think he's got the legs to do it anymore. But off the bench, as an impact, as a bit of experience, he would be a good signing for them. He would be on a free transfer. So, you know, a club like West Ham that aren't willing to spend too much, he wouldn't be the worst of signings. I just wouldn't have him at United. No chance. Chelsea about to sign Leon Bailey. That would be definitely a good signing. Constructive criticism Sander takes on board. Just not abuse. Well, you're spot on there, pal. You're spot on there. Oh, my midlife shirt crisis, chaps. You know, like, basically yesterday, right? It was a bit of a slow news day up until the point Leon came out with that statement. So I thought, bloody hell, what have I got to talk about today? Look, this is what I have my notes on here. I have a lot of notes. But I had my notes and I thought, oh, Jesus Christ, I haven't got much to talk about today. So I wore that shirt because I thought, look, I'll spice the stream up a little bit. But then then the news came out that Fekir wasn't going to be moving to Liverpool. So I had to talk about that the whole stream and never got to address the fact that I was taking the piss with the shirt. So people thought I was wearing the shirt like because I really liked it, but I wasn't really. I was just taking a piss a bit. But anyway. Moving on. This is the last story of the day. After this, we have got about 7 minutes left of the show. So once I talk about this deal, then you guys can get in the comments and tell me things that you want me to talk about. But finally, Manchester United, I'm sure we've got a lot of people in the comments that would want to see me talk about Manchester United. So here it is. Here it is. Marcus Rashford, obviously the player, the young superstar. You know, he broke on the scene in Louis van Gaal's last season against Midtjylland, then got 2 goals in his Premier League debut against Arsenal, smashed it that season. Mourinho's first season, yeah, look, he was only still young, he was only 19, he didn't play too much. I thought that was the sort of start of where we saw his issues, and for me, his issues are clinicality, decision making, and I don't think he's necessarily got too much quality on the ball. But as we saw the other day against England, he has got quality, and clearly he has got the ability to go on and prove me and other people wrong. He has been linked to Newcastle, not permanently, so don't worry, United fans who are a big fan of him, but on loan. And for me, I think this is a good decision. I do think it's a good decision. We saw him come in last season as a backup striker for Lukaku. He didn't do too well, mainly because, look, he hasn't been playing there all season, so you stick him there, and it's a sort of shock to the system. I think he thinks, and I think his best position is up front with that pace in behind on the turn. He can cause absolute nightmares for defenders. But for me, at that young age, 19, 20, 21, he's coming up to now, you've got to start week in, week out, don't you, at the position that you really need to play in, which is, for me, striker for him. So I think he could do that at Newcastle. I think he'd absolutely tear it at Newcastle. I really think it would be a good move for him. He's never going to start over Lukaku. Therefore, he'd be a bench player or a left winger, which Alexis Sanchez has got that position. So he'd be a bench player for Sanchez. If he stayed at United, he's never going to get in over Lukaku. So he'd be playing the odd FA Cup game here and there. I just think he's got to move on, not permanently. I just think he's got to move on, learn his trade, develop a little bit, become a bit more clinical, develop that decision making, and smash it and show what he can do in the Premier League, play week in, week out. At such a young age, you need that development. So for me, a loan move to Newcastle will be a very, very good deal. What do you guys think? Of course, this is the interactive show, so I'm interested to see what you guys think on Rashford to Newcastle on a loan deal. Would you like to see that happen, or would you like to see him stick at United and drop a pen and play, coming off the bench? You've heard what I've got to say. I want to know what you've got to say. Newcastle and Everton as well. I think Everton would be a good deal for him as well. They do need a striker, don't they, Everton? Tossun's been not very good, and I think Everton would be a good move for him. But Newcastle, likewise. We should have a front three of Rashford, Lukaku and Martial playing week in, week out. Rashford and Martial are too inconsistent for me. I don't like that. As well, Rashford's, if he's not playing up front, because clearly in that side that you've suggested, Lukaku's playing, if he's not playing up front, his best position's on the left. Now, Martial can't play on the right. He's got to play on the left, as we saw when Sanchez first came in. So how would you fit that in? Would you play Martial on the right or Martial on the left and Rashford on the right? You're just wasting talent there. Move him on loan and let him develop. Andres Pereira would be an upgrade on Lingard. I disagree. I tell you what, I was never the biggest fan of Lingard, but if you look back on the goals he scored this season for us, last season, absolute blinders, mate. He scored so many goals, and they're all of the highest quality. If you see the runs he makes, not only is a hard work at going back, but the runs he makes, the pockets he picks up, it's absolutely fantastic. Yes, he's a bit lightweight, but I don't know how much. Let's have a little look at what his stats were for last season. But I think he was absolutely fantastic for us. I've really grown to love Lingard. I really have, and I want to see him play regularly next season. I'm sure a lot of you disagree with me, but I really, really rate him. He got 8 goals and 5 assists, so I thought he had a little bit more goals than that. But I think it's very good for us. I do. Where's the creativity in the front three of Rashford, Romelu and Tony Martial? We need someone to play a killer pass or cross it in from out wide. These strikers up top doesn't work. I'd agree with you. And arguably, they're all strikers, aren't they? Martial apparently apparently he's a number 9 when he came into United. He was brought in to play up front, but then got moved out left when Rashford broke into the side. Rashford as well is a striker by trade, and Romelu Lukaku clearly is a number 9 as well. Fortune YT says, Sandon, we need quality players, not quality runs by players. No. What do you mean? What do you mean, Fortune YT? You're a quality player if you make good runs. You open up space if you make good runs. You're creating. You're getting into good positions. If we can just get the ball to him a bit quicker and more often, you're going to see havoc caused by him. Of course, don't get me wrong. I don't think if you play Lingard week in, week out, you're going to win the Premier League with him. But he's a fantastic option off the bench. He's a fantastic player to come in if you get an injury, or to come in if you're going to rest someone for a Champions League game midweek. I think he can definitely do a job, and he's an underrated player in my opinion. Philip Hamandesi, shout out, pal. But thanks everyone for joining me. We have hit about 30 minutes into the stream. I hope Liverpool fans and I saw a lot of fans that didn't support Liverpool that were telling me as well that I was too biased. I hope I have been slightly more neutral. Like I said, I think Gertz would be a good deal for Liverpool and things like that. So look, we live and learn. I hope everyone has enjoyed today's stream. I will be back tomorrow with a transfer show as per usual. Same place, same time, different shirt. 7:30 British time. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. And, well, thanks for joining me. Cheers all.